Today's edition of Mike Mayo's Lunchbox is brought to you by Grandpa's Cafe in Dania.
Hold the Mayo. It's time for Mike Mayo's Lunchbox. Find out what's being served with Mike, Defo, and Luby, the only show that covers food, sports, and the proper maintenance of your car. And now, a man who had the distinction of having an entire health clinic named in his honor, Mike Mayo.
I want the flim sauce with the awesome fave with shafafa on.
Hey, good afternoon. No, actually, good morning. I'm all screwed up. Good morning, everybody, and welcome to a special breakfast edition of
did that on
the
purpose,
Lunchbox.
right?
I don't know what I did. I'm all, when I multitask, bad things happen. Mark Fried. We are at Grandpa's Bagel Cafe and Deli in beautiful Dania Beach on a spectacular winter day in South Florida. We've got Jeff Defo DeForest back in the homestead. How are you, Defo?
Couldn't be better. Beautiful day. Can't wait. I was outside walking a dog. Can't wait to get on the walk of life. And there's nothing better than watching you guys feast at Grandpa's. I live vicariously
There is
through
one
you.
thing better.
Yes.
If you were sitting
Sitting right here having a fresh knish.
one of these days,
We'll get him back.
Defo,
Well, I mean,
man
only
of
the post time is a little prohibitive, just because.
I think next month I'm picking your butt up. Man.
Defo is a man of many projects. He's kind of like the Renaissance man. He's got all kinds of gambling shows and sports shows
right?
and the food shows. Hopefully, we're going to be seeing him later today. We're doing a double header for.
I'll be out there
in the month. Oh,
I
great!
arranged a business meeting at Taverna Kima for 3 o'clock, knowing that we're going to be there at 4, and I can just bounce right onto the show, which would be great.
What does that do for me?
What is that?
You can come out there if you want. We'd love to have you.
Well, yeah, I mean, I was trying to help people bury their bookmaker up until about 10:30. So
Is that Mayo?
Mayo, I mean, he has a share of hits. He's not a total
tell
bust
you
when
what,
it comes to these
The
kind of things.
one area of my what I call day trading, but other people call gambling, in 2024, the one area where I hit in 2024, Mark Fried, was the sports betting. Now, I took a bath on horses. I did okay in poker, but a little bit in the red. But for the year, when I tallied up, I was in the black on sports betting. Unfortunately, I only do like $10 and $20 bets. So my net profit was like $220, which isn't going to pay many bills. But meanwhile, what's happening here, I'm in an ebullient mood today, which means I'm just really good. You got great coffee, great cup of black coffee. We're going to be eating some of the new menu items here. And,
we're going to try it all. Try whatever
like
you want till you bust.
Seems like you've been absolutely.
My mother used to
say
use that. My mom and
grandmother
grandma used to say, eat till you bust.
Yeah, flashback. The
You
fact that
never can leave food on the plate.
before we got on, you're like, "What do you want?" I'm like, "Mayo mentioned 6 things to get, but what do you want?" I'm like, "We only have so much room. I can eat what you have." And then, so that gave me flashbacks to my grandmother, who there was never enough food. You were never eating enough, and then. Eat till you bust. It was like, I don't want to eat till I bust.
No,
like,
it's not fun. You don't feel good.
Exactly.
I got plenty of room on the belt, so I'm good.
Yeah, you're doing
You look
well.
good, sir.
Me,
Not the last 2 weeks.
Well, what do you want?
I'm
It's
embarking
tough
on
holiday.
New Year. Not exactly new you for me, but
New shirt.
got a new
Shirt.
shirt. Oh
I
yeah,
love
so
the
this
shirt.
I had to wear today because my wonderful daughter Natalia.
And I got to see her.
This
Oh,
was
nice.
she used to work right here at Grandpa's during her senior year of high school. Was putting some money in the bank to contribute to her car fund, and now she's off at FSU. But one of her Christmas gifts, a very modest gift, was getting me this T-shirt. She also got me some other really nice dress shirts and some sweaters. That one of them I'm going to be wearing for the Taverna Kima show. But can you read this, Defo? You see what it says here? It says,
this is like the Big E on the eye chart. Awesome, like my daughter.
that's
Nice, you
it.
nailed it. Good job, Dave.
And I've got to ask Mark Fried at this point, if you are the general manager of Grandpa's, well, you are. You're the owner and kind of you run the show here. But like if you were the Chris Greer Dolphins type and there was a draft board, let's say, the restaurant draft, and you had a choice of my daughter or me to work at the restaurant.
It does say awesome like my daughter,
Yes.
but if she have one, Is she wearing awesome like my daddy?
Well, I knew she would never wear that if I got it for her. But you make a good point. I might get it for her for my birthday this year.
That would be a great present for her. But don't buy your size. Get her size.
Yes.
That's it.
Look at these soup.
Meanwhile, we've
what is
got.
that?
Look
Oof.
what we have in front of us, Mark Fried.
Oh
We got, what's that, turkey vegetable?
Yeah, we got the soups of the day. You know why, Defo?
Don't tell me you feel a cold coming on.
No.
It's like night. It's cold
hold on.
out.
Let me move over.
Yeah.
No,
It's cold
actually,
outside.
thankfully, that is all gone. It's out of my system finally. I was under the weather during the New Year's holiday, but that whatever that bug was is gone.
You're lucky because some of them are lasting long.
I know. It's been
But if I was sick, I wouldn't want to be in you either.
it's not just the
Right,
jungle.
guys?
Yeah. It's not just the jungle out there. It's a petri dish out there, especially with
Yeah.
everybody flying back and forth. But no, it's soup weather. I think we had a low in the 40s overnight.
Yes,
Is that
yes.
right?
Yes.
I played golf yesterday morning at 7:30 in the morning, and let me tell you, the first 3 holes, the glass was up. It was cold.
Did you wear your little like pupki hat that my
No
father
pupki,
called it?
no
Little-
pupki
where
hat,
you pull
no.
it over your ears and you
No.
got the little kind of pom
I
pom on
had
the top.
pupki hats, and you had the one that pulled over your head with the eyes and the nose. And
That's the
mouth.
mask.
And then, yeah, we had those also. We were delivering newspapers in those days.
I remember those days. I actually was a newspaper delivery boy in my youth. But did you do that at any point, Defo?
I dabbled in it because my brother had a newspaper out, but I wasn't very good at it because there would be a softball game or something, and I'd still have 60 papers to deliver, and we'd drop them all in the sewer. So that's the reason there was no drainage in Belmore, Long Island.
And what'd you do when you went on collections?
Well, that was my brother's thing. I had a great job as a kid. We all know this. I was selling souvenirs at Shea Stadium, making big money as a 14-year-old.
Wow.
But I think we just cracked the code of the mystery of what's been happening to your New York Post. Defo.
Oh, a disaster.
I think the guy has been just dumping them down the sewer every morning,
Could be.
saying, "Oh yeah, I'm done. I got all my."
I'm
papers."
this close, Mayo, to canceling, being the last subscriber to an actual, hard copy of the newspaper. This close to, just canceling that thing. But every day I speak to another very nice lady in the Philippines who tells me it's all going to be okay. That they're on
Oh, you
top.
did get a New York Post?
And let me guess,
We'll
her
get a New York Post, and I love it.
They don't have any in the local, like, whatever that is.
Well, the
like,
sports departments aren't the same as the New York Post is like an old school. They do a really good sports.
I know. I
section
used to read
still.
I used to read that, and I like the Daily News personally.
Sadly, the local ones, and we love the Sentinel and the Herald. The sports
Like there's
pages
a
aren't
what's
as
it called?
strong.
That little convenience store. They always
yeah.
everybody walks right
The-
there. They get a
the
news
candy and stationery shops
Yep,
that
yep,
were all over the
and Even the
neighborhood.
7-Eleven by us carries.
Yeah. You don't save any money by getting the home delivery. I mean, it's the same price as it would be if you bought it at the convenience store. And actually, if I walked up there after the shows they do in the morning, I probably would get it sooner. That's
So they've jacked up the rates so much between they add on delivery charges, fuel charges, the daily rate. It, like you said, you don't really save any money getting it home delivered. Take the hint, Defo. They don't want to print
It used to be
papers
great,
anymore.
though. I
They
had
want everybody to subscribe
Yeah.
digitally, and
Yes.
I'm a big New York Post.
You know what was really weird, Mike? They actually tacked on this year the congestion fee. So it's $9 every time the guy leaves. the
right.
house.
So
Even-
my question is, they don't make a Sunday paper to Post, do they?
Yes.
Yeah,
yes.
They didn't. I don't think they did years ago.
Remember that back in the day? You're correct, sir. It was the Daily News,
Sunday.
Newsday,
The
New York
Times.
Times, and that's what I would pick up at my local store.
No
and they all
Post.
weighed a half ton. When you got all
Especially
three
the
Sunday
Times.
papers,
Oh, we used to
and
sell them.
they used to put out the early edition by like 6 p.m. on Saturday night. But if you wanted the late sports, they would hit the stands about midnight, and
Right.
then I would get that sometimes on the way home from the bars and the clubs and the whatnot.
And they had the results from the horses that morning.
That's
for the-
right.
for
They-
the Sunday before they raced.
back when they carried the full agate of the full cards and all this stuff, but
They still do in the New York Post. They
Do
still
they?
give you good thoroughbred racing. What I'm waiting for, though, Mark, and I probably won't live long enough to see this, is an extrapolation of the old Twilight Zone episode where you get tomorrow's paper
That's what I'm
and
talking
have today's race
about.
results.
Make sure you call me, Defo. You'll be my best friend, I promise.
yeah, but that one had the great ending where he got
Yeah, with
picked up,
his.
and it was his obituary in the next day's paper,
Oh,
and he was
God.
like, "Uh-oh."
I remember delivering the Daily News. That was our paper. My brother had 2 routes. I had a nice route. My little brother had a route. It was 90 cents for the whole week's papers.
Yeah.
No, at age.
Yeah, And I-
90 cents. And some people used to give me $1, 10-cent tip for the whole week.
So my first job,
They used to
which
give them the rip papers.
I also was a newspaper delivery assistant because I was not old enough to have my own route. But one of my neighbors, Billy Warshaw, he had an afternoon delivery. And get this, I lived in a neighborhood in Brooklyn, but it was delivering the Long Island Press,
Yes.
which was a PM paper. But some people in our neighborhood, because we were close to Long Island in Mill Basin near Kings Plaza, and we would deliver the Long Island Press in the afternoon after I got
Wow.
home from school.
I never heard of it.
It was a
You
decent
know the
newspaper.
Long Island Press?
Never
Yeah,
heard of
Long
it.
Island Press.
You're the same. Oh, wow. I'm
I'm a
surprised.
Brooklyn boy. No,
Yeah,
not
but-
Long Island.
Yeah, we had the. Well, do you remember the Brooklyn Eagle?
No,
Well, that was even before
you
our
must be
time.
a lot older than me.
Me- yeah, I think so. And you're a lot more handsome than me too.
Oh
So
God,
we got our soups of the day. What do we got here, Mark? For
you
you,
got the matzo ball soup, matzo
classic
ball chicken
every
soup.
day.
Yep.
Yep.
And then I think you got a turkey vegetable soup today,
And
which people like.
yeah,
It's
people,
hearty.
Yeah.
it is hearty. It's
Too bad we didn't have your minestrone soup today. I guess not today.
well, you know
Is that
my
what you want?
favorite. Deepa, what's your
mushroom barley
favorite
you
soup?
like?
Yeah.
Mushroom barley.
Are you when you go to a deli and you ask for the soup of the day, which is the one that you'll get, and which is the one you'll make a mayo face and just say, ugh?
I don't have a rejection for any soup, but I know you will make a mayo face when I say that my favorite soup, and Good Deli has a great version of this, is split pea.
He's allowed to
That's
like
the
it.
exorcist soup.
Yes, it
I
is.
feel like Linda Blair. I mean, Mayo would be Linda
I had
Blair.
that soup ever since I saw the movie.
That's the problem.
Yeah.
It ruined it.
I
That
can't.
movie
eat
ruined it for a lot of people.
Yeah,
Default
that's-
fights through.
I'm
When
a
did
big
it-
split pea fan, although it's getting more and more scarce
Yes.
to find split
I'll give
pea
you a
soup
good
on any
soup
menu.
that nobody carries, and you should carry a. We gotta start making. I love tomato soup.
Oh, a nice tomato soup and a grilled cheese is like a
Yeah.
really cool.
That's a nice
comfort
recipe,
meal,
Yeah.
yep.
I think we're gonna start that.
Like
I
a
don't know when.
tomato bisque or cream of tomato with the grilled cheese.
Yeah, yeah.
It's
is
the way to go. It's
Yep.
a good soup.
classic winter combo. It was also classic when you were sick, home from school. Even if you were faking it, you loved the tomato soup.
There was a chain of restaurants actually that started with two guys very humbly called Tom Chi, which was featured on Shark Tank. One of the sharks actually bought into it, and they expanded rapidly and ended up with a lot of stores. They did go out of business, but that's all they featured was
For tomato,
a variety of grilled cheese sandwiches and extrapolations of that and tomato soup.
they think
And they became kind of popular.
They still do the grilled cheese. Isn't there a place right in Boca?
There was
right?
a grilled cheese.
There's a place
yeah.
called New York Grilled Cheese.
Grilled cheese. Yep.
There was
No,
two
there's another
locations.
one. What's the other one called? It's still there.
Miss Cheesiest. There's another that was like a
No.
food truck.
It's right on Federal
I
Highway.
thought it was called New York Grilled Cheese, and there was one in Wilton Manors. There was one in Boca, but I think grilled cheese is one of
I
those
always love grilled
perennials,
cheese.
and you could put grilled cheese with tomato, grilled cheese with bacon. You know, you have all your different
That's
variations.
the best one.
So
Bacon and tomato.
yeah, so
Yes.
you know who makes a surprisingly good grilled cheese, and I'm sure it's going to be great once if you're going to be putting it on the menu here. But the poker room at the Big Easy Casino has a grilled cheese menu.
Hold on, now. My favorite
wow, look at
delivery
this.
girl is
This
here.
is
Hi,
it.
Rachel.
Oh, we got Rachel.
Hi, Rachel.
Rachel Mizrahi
She's
in the
camera
house.
shy, everybody. So
She
I-
doesn't want to
just
be
show
seen.
your face.
No, she's
She won't.
good.
We've tried.
But look at this. This is
That's
a
beautiful.
I thought I was special.
what do we got
You want to
here?
sit on my lap? Come on.
Oh, jeez.
Come on,
Santa
little girl.
Claus. He's got Santa Claus. What do we got here, Freed? This is a new item, right?
Yeah, this is a corned beef. What is it?
Corned
Eggs
beef
Benedict.
Yeah.
Looks like a
Corned beef,
beautiful
that's
hollandaise.
really nice.
Yeah.
And I see that
And it's real corned
potatoes
beef
are
down there. I
perfect,
see
too.
it.
it's real
And hash browns.
corned beef with a nice, well done hash browns
Beautiful.
and the hollandaise. This is something.
It's a
Look, I was
nice-
trying to be. I
I
told
mean, I can eat
them
that.
it's the new year.
that might
everybody-
be going. That might be going to the right.
I got it.
It's going right to
No, you
Luby.
put it
It's
down.
all good. We'll
Yeah,
do
but
it.
you know what's good? This
I'll
way,
get
when
you
it gets on his shirt, he won't.
Yeah,
he
it won't
won't
be
be
on the
seen
screen,
either.
good.
That's good. And then I ordered, I thinking that it's the new year and everybody's on a health kick, the Powerhouse, they call it the Powerhouse breakfast wrap, which is egg whites, tomato, like some turkey in a wrap. So it's a little bit on the lighter side. And of course I didn't specify bring the tomatoes on the side. So I got the beautiful,
Yeah, hash browns.
Yeah,
these
and
are
you don't
fried
think he
home
fried.
you don't think he purposely messed that up, do you, Defoe?
No,
You
really
don't
not.
purposely think he left the potatoes out for tomatoes. There,
Well,
do
I'm
you?
gonna
You wouldn't put that
I
past.
think he's worried because maybe tomatoes are still a little high. So he's trying to save me $1.
Exactly.
The over under though, Mark, are you involved in that?
I would
Number
be
of
with
days
this
he'll
guy.
continue this. The number of days you'll stay on this thing.
Well, I'm not
He's
on
already been off
anything.
it.
I'm just
He said after the
Lunchtime, he's done.
Food and Wine Fest is when he's going to do something again.
well.
When
We're
is that?
holding our breath. That's
Next week is the Visit Lauderdale Food and Wine Festival. All kinds of stuff going on. And get your final tickets. VLFoodWine.com. Use the promo code Lunchbox for your extra 15% savings. How's that for a plug?
Beautiful.
Nice. And we got to get you involved one of these years. They're doing a Sunday brunch.
Yeah, they're doing a brunch thing.
But the problem is all the places that do good Sunday brunches
are doing brunch.
they're packed on Sundays. They can't afford to
Give
lose
enough to
people.
place. You lose, you lose your regulars.
Yeah, I mean,
They got to do it on a different day.
Well, it's a little, I'll get back to you on that one. We'll see what they wanted to do, but
That's
yeah,
why
no.
we don't even do
Oh, and he
brunch.
brought the
'cause-
tomatoes.
yeah, well, the regular one. There we go. You
All
heard?
right, he's back on. He's back on it.
Oh, it's all good.
I hope his girlfriend brings him tomatoes. He'll stay on it.
That's it. Well, yeah. Speaking of Val, she couldn't partake in any of these soups because her carrot allergy. So she would get the split pea, Defo, and mushroom barley is also carrot free. And
Well, what happened, Mark? Has split pea been phased out? I mean, is there a reason for that? That
No, we have
it's
split pea.
unpopular.
We sell a lot of split pea.
Oh, okay, good.
Just not for my menu.
All right.
I like tomato soup. That's what I'll make them make one of these days.
Oh, I'm digging the power wrap though. Let's go.
Power wrap's nice. It's healthy.
Mm-hmm. Let me see. Should we take our first break?
We can take a break.
And then Freed's got to cut out. He's getting a haircut.
I got to get a haircut now for next month's show of the Lunchbox.
There you go.
I said his hair looks beautiful
look
right
good.
now, but he likes it
sharp.
neatly
Jealous. You
trimmed.
guys have full
Short
heads of
is
hair. Like it's crazy.
I'm a little bit.
I've been balding for like 15 years.
I'm a little bit
So if
stuck.
you stay like that for 15 more, you're good.
I'll be fine if it stays like this. But
Defoe's got a nice head of hair. It's very
yeah, you
distinguished.
guys all did a good
Oh, I
job.
have the red yarmulke in the back.
It's unbelievable.
You notice there's no overhead cameras.
Yeah,
no-
exactly.
It's amazing. Defoe's 30 years old and he's going gray already.
Exactly.
It's all good. All right. Well, we'll come back after these words, and we'll have
What time is it?
a few more
11:07.
minutes
Yeah,
with
like
Mark
7:30.
Fried, the proprietor here of the fabulous Grandpa's Bagel Deli and Cafe, or just Grandpa's Restaurant.
And I'll see what else I can find. Maybe I'll bring out something special. We'll see.
Okay. Well,
No promises, but I'm going to try.
There's plenty here.
And I call you the candy man now, because every time I come in here, you're like putting together the little boxes of candy that you sell up front, the
It's amazing.
nonpareils,
Yeah,
the
people
snow
love
caps,
them.
the thing. I love those
That was
too.
great. I got some of those a couple times ago. It was fantastic.
And he
Yeah,
has the
certain
milk.
ones, the ones that are dark chocolate with the white
Yeah, they're
nonpareils
nice.
on them, they're
Yeah,
unbelievable.
they're really
Classic.
nice.
Those
I'm
are
not a huge dark
classic.
chocolate guy, but those
And
were
then
good.
everybody lets their kids say, "Yeah, you could." Little boy, they call their son over, so you can have any one. You can have one, so that's good by me. Take one.
Yeah,
There you go.
And besides having the greatest rugelach in town, I
Yeah,
love
rugelach's
those
fantastic.
things, and I ate a
Been
lot
a
of
big
them
seller for the holidays.
over the
so.
holidays. I ate too many of them free. But
That's everything.
That's
if you
why
had
you're
a-
on the power.
Before we take the break, I do have to ask you another thing, Defoe, in terms of rugelach. They have 4 flavors here. There's chocolate, there's raspberry, there's apricot, and then there's cinnamon raisin. Can you do a ranking top? Like, what's your 1 through 4? in
I know
terms
what
of-
I know what sells best.
You know, I,
But
I,
I'll,
I,
I'll leave
I always
Defoe
like
up
the,
to it.
apricot. I
If he
always
gets them perfect in a row, I owe you dinner. How's
He
that?
said apricot. He went off board.
I go off course there with the apricot, the uncommon one.
As the
you like that
bestseller?
as the
No, I would.
I do like that. Yeah.
in terms of what he likes.
I
the
would have
best
hung
preference.
lose.
Well, it's chocolate. I mean,
Okay,
it's-
I'm
the
gonna
bestseller's
do.
gotta
I'm
be
gonna
chocolate.
add. I'm gonna
Chocolate probably would be number one. With
Yeah.
that.
Yeah, chocolate number 1. I'm gonna say raspberry 2, apricot 3, cinnamon raisin 4. No, cinnamon raisin is a bigger seller.
Much bigger.
Really?
Oh, what? Give me the rankings.
Because it's the only one with raisins.
People like
People
raisins.
like
so whoever
raisins?
wants raisins has to go that route.
So it
In
galvanizes
New York, we
together.
used to make them all with raisins and all with nuts.
So
And
wait,
they don't do it here.
what
We
is
don't do it
the
here.
top seller? Is it chocolate?
Chocolate.
Okay,
And then cinnamon raisin?
No, I'm very tight with raspberry.
Raspberry, cinnamon
See,
raisin.
I would say apricot too.
Dead
I
heat.
like.
But
It's a different
apricot
flavor.
is
I like that.
apricot is more the older. I'd say
Yeah, yeah,
older
yeah.
people go apricot more
Yeah.
because they're used to that.
I
Yeah.
like it.
But the
It's more
newer
su-
age is not an apricot.
See, I like.
number.
See, that's what's funny is the chocolate is the strongest flavor, and that's my favorite. The apricot's the most subtle flavor, and I like that as like a differentiation from the chocolate.
I like apricot.
So you saying
Apricot's
people-
good.
actually love raisins in their little
Yeah,
bagels.
raisins.
A lot of people do.
So
I'm
weird.
telling you, all 4 of mine flavors in New York was
All had
all with raisins.
That's
And
what it is.
nobody,
They're raised
nobody
with the
made
raisins.
them like
I've
that.
told
Yeah.
this story before. When I went to Boy Scout camp, there was a guy named Neil Winter. He was a kid. He was like 11 years old, and he had this phobia of raisins for some reason.
Really?
He
That's weird.
just like raisins freaked him out, and I don't know what trauma was in his life. So, being the kind and compassionate
His mother
souls,
probably made him eat them.
Right.
Raisins all the time. That's-
so being the kind and compassionate souls that we were, we would get
He would-
boxes
he'd
of
wake up with
raisins,
raisins.
and just throw them at him. Very
You
nice.
guys are a lot in New York.
Heartless. Now
That's
you
a
know where
staple
Mayo
of the
gets it
school lunch that you brought from home. The little tiny
I
raisin.
love. Yep.
Box of raisins.
Always thrown in there, and now
Yeah, that was
thrown
what was the name of that company?
Sunmade.
Sunmade.
I still
The
see
red
those
box?
little
Yes.
Or the
red
golden
red
boxes.
box.
Yes.
I had about 20 of those boxes, the little ones, in my cupboard because my dad, rest in peace, he was diabetic. And whenever his blood sugar was getting low, my mom would just say, "Here, have some raisins, Bob." And that was another great memory of raisins. And you can get all your raisins here.
Are you a dark raisin or a golden raisin?
I prefer, like, when you're making your kugels, the noodle kugels have to have the golden,
golden.
raisins.
See, now our rugelach in New York,
Yeah.
we used to use the golden raisins.
But people down here,
And you know what you do to them before you put them into the rugelach? You put them in water and they blow up.
Oh, they look bigger. Okay, they're
Fluffy.
Well, they just keep it moist in the middle. It was really a good secret.
fluffy golden raisins.
Here's one for you, Mark Fried, being a deli guy.
Try my
and
best.
This
Go ahead.
happens to be a favorite of mine from Boar's Head. They make a chicken salad that also has raisins in it. Is that blasphemous?
You mean Boar's Head makes it like as
Boar's Head puts out a
salad-
chicken salad, and happens to be delicious. I forget the exact name of it. It's some kind of, they have a golden classic chicken salad or whatever, and
Really?
you can buy it in any store. And
So what
has
you're saying
raisins
though,
in
is
it.
Boar's Head makes it in the bucket. You just sell it right from Boar's Head.
Right. It's
in
a
the
straight
store.
product from Boar's
Right.
Head. But the raisins really add a lot. I believe
Well,
they do.
It's funny. It's raisins
like
because
it's like the chicken cranberry chicken salad.
well, yeah,
Yes.
And they
cranberry.
have cranberry.
I'm sure it's not
That's
cranberry
hot.
because there was a recent brouhaha on the Let's Eat South Florida group where somebody went to a restaurant and they said, "Oh, I don't like it with the raisins," and the waiter said, "I think it was at Kalou's," and they said, "That's cranberries in the salad, not raisins." So,
I guess they left
Cranberries to you.
cranberries out too long in the
I
sun
like
and they
either.
got
Get the hell
dark.
out of my house.
I don't know what happened. All right, let's take that
But
break.
I like raisins in some things. I'm a raisin liker. So.
Raisin in the
I
sun.
like raisins. It just in baked goods sometimes it's hit
Yeah.
or miss. Like an oatmeal cookie, yeah, obviously, but some other things it's like hit or miss.
New Year's challah when it's round.
You could have
I
your
do-
issues. That's all right.
I like getting
I don't
the
allow-
Very little.
round raisin challah for
With
Rosh
raisins.
Hashanah
Yeah,
because
it screams
for a
New Year.
sweet New Year, and you toast it with a little cream cheese. It's
And anything
delicious.
you can get to sweeten you up is a good thing.
That's right. All right, let's take the first break. We'll come back with one more segment with Fried before he gets his beautiful hair
My crew cut.
coiffed.
Oh, you look nice.
And
That's
we'll
what
be
my
back.
mother used to do. She used to call the barber before.
That's the worst.
And,
Everyone had
and
that
I'd
once.
say, leave it nice and long. And he just, I go to the mirror and I'm like, wow, look what
the
this
hell
guy
they
did
did
to me.
My mom would call up the barber and say, "Get out your finest bowl and put it right
No,
on his
the
head."
bowl, we were
Did
talking about-
you use butch wax on the crew cut? You remember that stuff? It was like a little stick, like
No.
deodorant, and it
No,
got
I know what you mean by the stick.
front part to
They had
stay
this
up.
stick. They used to bring it up in the front.
Yeah, that stuff,
Like
and it had
real
a
wax.
sediment to it that you could never get out of your hair. It was almost like putting silly putty on your head. Great
That's another
product.
trick we used to play.
All
at
right, I'll
Scout
see you
camp.
guys in a couple.
All right, I'll be right back.
Happy New Year, everybody.
All right, we'll be back for the finest poultry and the freshest fish. Delaware Chicken Farm and Seafood Market, located at 4191 North State Road 7 in Hollywood, open 7 days. Since 1951, a South Florida tradition for stone crab in season, Thanksgiving turkeys, holiday feasts, and everyday eating. Great steaks, house-made sausage, and prepared foods, too. Delaware is not just a market, it's a celebration of taste, quality, and old-fashioned customer service with a smile. Sign up for their weekly email flyer at DelawareChicken.com and tell them Mike Mayo and the Lunchbox sent you. When the Brooklyn boy in me wants a great bagel with lox, matzo ball soup, deli sandwich, and rugelach, you know where I go? Grandpa's Restaurant in Dania Beach. It's a South Florida institution since 1957 that was revamped a few years back by a pair of New York bagel baking legends. Full deli and appetizing case with spreads, salads, and platters for takeout and catering. Grandpa's is near Federal Highway just north of Sterling Road, open 7 days for breakfast and lunch. Go eat and enjoy. It's Mike Mayo's Lunchbox approved. For the finest and authentic Greek cuisine, Taverna Kima is the place to go. 6298 North Federal Highway in Boca Raton. It's been around for nearly 2 decades. Every day is a feast with grilled lamb and fish, house-made spinach pie and moussaka, gyros, traditional dips, mezes, with soft, warm pita. It's open 7 days for lunch and dinner with happy hour daily from 3 to 6 p.m., indoor, outdoor, private dining, and they are now featuring a monthly lamb roast brunch on the first Sunday of every month. So celebrate life at Taverna Kima. For reservations. Southern comfort food from a scratch kitchen, delicious drinks and house-made spirits from a craft bar, a great vibe inside and out with a spacious patio. I'm talking about Batch New Southern Kitchen and Tap, Fort Lauderdale, in the heart of the city at 525 North Federal Highway. It's open 7 days for lunch, dinner, and weekend brunch with classics like fried chicken and waffles and shrimp and grits, and creative items like pecan-crusted salmon and a fried green tomato BLT. And the drinks? Smooth sipping and so good. There's convenient free parking and a garage next door, happy hour at the bar, an entire patio, 4 to 7 Monday to Friday, and live music every Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. It's pet and people friendly and with cozy fire pits for when the temperature dips. For reservations and more information, go to batchsouthernkitchen.com. If you like seafood in a comfortable setting, outdoors, even keel fish shack at the corner of A1A and Commercial Boulevard in Lauderdale by the Sea, and also now with a new location on Las Olas Boulevard. Those are my spots. Upscale food and a down-home setting. The chef owners, Dave and Brad, do a terrific job with all the seafood classics that you want. They have the best grilled oysters in town, bang bang shrimp, lobster rolls, and deli fish specials. They also have weekend brunch Saturday and Sunday. They have deli happy hour 4 to 7, and they also have other weekly specials like mussels on Monday and oysters on Tuesday. Go to Even Keel Fish Shack and tell them that the Lunchbox sent you. If you want great Italian food in a beautiful beachfront setting, have I got the place for you. Casa Calabria at the Ocean Manor Resort, 4040 Galt Ocean Drive in Fort Lauderdale. Highly rated across all the restaurant review platforms and totally Mike Mayo's Lunchbox approved. Delicious, authentic Southern Italian food in a cozy dining room overlooking the Atlantic. Live music in the lounge, full bar, and a great wine list. Owner Frank Talrico takes great pride in his family recipes from his native Calabria. Fresh fish and seafood, veal, house-made pastas, and marinara sauces smooth as silk. You gotta try the imported meats and cheeses on the antipasta platters, and don't miss that ricotta gnocchi. Fluffy little pillows straight from heaven. Casa Calabria, open for dinner Tuesday through Sunday, closed. All right, we're back on the Lunchbox. We got Rachel Mizrahi,
She
their
literally
great
bends
social media
backwards to not
person.
be in the shot.
And we've got new items here at Grandpa's Depot. And this is one of the things I love about Fried and this place is he's not afraid to start, as
Mixing
my dad
it
would
up.
say, potchking around
Yep.
with the items and the menu. And even though it's spectacular, everything that's here, but they've added this new corned beef.
What is it on? Is it
corned
on
beef eggs Benedict?
But what is this in English? This is a really thin English
Yeah, well,
muffin.
you know the thing with the eggs Benedict, it's supposed to be on an English muffin with, a little layer
Yeah, but
of
this is
protein.
thin. When is the English muffin this thin?
I
It's like
guess
a
they
pancake.
pounded out their English muffins. I don't know. I like when it's a smaller.
No, this actually is. That's the thing with a.
It doesn't
eggs
overwhelm
Benedict.
with bread. It's
A lot
got
of the time, it's too
hollandaise.
much bread, and they don't cook the English muffin the right way. It's interesting that they thought about that and made this thin. Like I actually like
Got
that.
that nice steamed hot sliced corned beef that they put on it from Carnegie Deli brand, and you got yourself a beautiful breakfast there.
Yep.
Me, I'm eating the power wrap.
Yeah,
Trying to be healthy with my tomatoes instead of potatoes, failing because these hash browns were so well done, just beautiful, calling my name. So I'm going to take a bite now. Tifo, if I say the name Kathy Willits, does that mean anything to you?
Well, of course, it was a classic story here. I mean, there've been many of these type of things that emerge. It seems like the news stories that really carry weight usually come from the Bazaar here in South Florida. But that was a classic.
So-
Did she really post that thing on Let's Eat
So
Lunch?
here's the thing. Last night, the admins of the Let's Eat group, which I'm one of them, along with Gretchen Day Bryant, who used to be my boss and features editor at the Sun Sentinel. Now she's the Grand Poobah, the executive editor of the Sun Sentinel.
For the whole paper.
For the whole paper.
Oh, that's
she's
so
the
amazing.
number
She's a
one
really cool
person
lady,
in
too.
charge of the news gathering operation there. And then there's another admin named David Schutz, who's only been in town for about 10 years. But Gretchen texted the group and said, there's a post in Let's Eat from a Kathy Willits. Do you think it's that Kathy Willits? And I was like, I don't know. But I approved the post. It was actually about Cap's Place, which is one of those kind of polarizing places that's been around for almost a century. It started as a speakeasy and a casino. Have you ever been there? It's up in Lighthouse Point.
Yes, a few times.
What do you think? What's your impression?
It didn't overwhelm me. I would go other places before I go to
It's like
Cap's
a water.
It's an
on the water
experience.
place,
It's like
on the
you can
water
take
place.
a boat, but you could also drive directly there now. But it's like across from this, like the Intercoastal, and across from.
So it's like a
Seems kind
Cologne.
of cool when you're getting on the boat there and waiting for it, and then a bunch
a-
of people get on this little
it's a
sort of,
touristy place
ferry
filled
type
with
of
history.
shuttle.
One of the things is, I guess, FDR and Winston Churchill had a clandestine meeting there one time during World War II.
Wow.
A lot of interesting history there, and a lot of kind of. It's a little bit older, rundown, but they're known for their hearts of palm salad. They're known for fresh fish. Believe it or not, I've never been there. Now I've got to go there. But basically,
Okay, can you
This-
explain the cat?
Kathy Willits was
young.
asking, what do you think of Cap's Place? And people weighed in. But nobody kind of directly asked her. And I did my subtle little Mayo thing, which was,
What?
I said, your post brings back a lot of memories, ... of one of the oldest restaurants in Broward County. And then at the end, I was like, and speaking of history, are you? And then I was like, never mind. But
So why do I? Okay, what?
so Kathy Willits, here's the thing.
I'm
And
younger.
Gretchen knew exactly who she was because she was she was at the paper at the time. David Schutz had no idea who she was because he didn't get here till like the year 2010.
Okay.
But basically, she was involved in one of the biggest scandals in South Florida history,
My God, really?
1992, and involved also the very flamboyant attorney Ellis Rubin, who played a part in the whole thing. But basically, she was married to a BSO deputy named Jeff Willits.
Okay.
Kath-
that name. made me
Kathy and Jeff were a couple that was, let's say, into supplementing their income through unconventional means. And she also just liked having sex. So she would have sex in her, in their house with multiple people. There was a book collected of 50 names, including a lot of prominent people
too.
in
They
the
would
Fort Lauderdale.
Oh, they would pay.
It was prostitution, basically, because
With his
people would
wife.
pay. But unbeknownst to the Johns, Jeff got his, jollies from being in a closet watching and
cock.
also filming them.
Oh, and
So
okay.
then when the whole thing came unraveling,
That sounds like a movie.
people were in a panic who were, I guess, using her services, and they tried to, squash the names from coming out, blah, blah, blah. One of the names was, and this is the part that I always love, he was called the vice mayor of Fort Lauderdale. His name was Doug Danziger, and he was one of these holier than thou. He went to the Coral Ridge Presbyterian Church, which is very outspoken in its morality and other things. But basically, once Doug Danziger's name came out, he immediately resigned from office. And then Ellis Rubin peddled the tape of Doug Danziger and Kathy Willits having sex to Inside Edition for $60,000. I don't know if that breaks any of the rules of the bar. What were your memories of that whole story in that era?
Oh, it's great. I mean, classic radio for Neil Rogers. He teed that up every day. I actually knew Ellis Rubin a little bit because Ellis Rubin, at an early stage of my Miami radio career, was doing a show on a station that I was on, and he came on, I think, after me a couple of nights a week. And so I knew him a little bit. He was well respected. That maneuver seems to reek of lacking in class, but
well, basically,
it's a big story. I mean, as you said, anything that reeks of infamy is likely to have happened here.
Yeah, it was. It was one of those only in South Florida stories, and basically both Kathy and Jeff ended up getting some jail time for their transgressions. They both were convicted, but Ellis Rubin hatched. He was the master of hatching these novel defenses. And
Yes.
the defense, you remember what it was?
I think he used the Queen's Indian defense. No, I don't know.
No.
That's a chess maneuver.
It was the nymphomania defense.
Yes, that was
It
great.
was my
because it's an
client
actual
is a
disease.
nymphomaniac, and she can't help herself. And just like I can't help myself from overeating here, we've got Fried is back. He's got to get his hair
He
cut.
already got his hair cut? Get
minutes.
out of
It
here.
only takes
No.
3 minutes to walk the
Did
way
you
I
ask for a trim? What are
30
you
minutes.
All right, you've got 3 more minutes here, but look what we've got here. We've got a new
Let's-
burger
let's get
on
this
the
out of
menu
here.
from Halpern's.
We don't need this here.
We've got
Wait, just
we've got. So, well, I was gonna have the turkey. So
Don't throw it away.
Halpern on a
Fine.
brioche bun.
But what's this? This is a flagel. This is bagel.
I'm going to
Flagel?
put this together for you in a minute.
What is it?
This is a everything flagel with Nova,
Looks
capers,
fantastic.
and onions.
I want.
And I got a lot of pictures getting taken on the way.
All right, this is
This
good.
is if you order it like open face, which we don't usually do. But when I put it together, that's the way it usually works.
You know, I'm of the opinion that bagels should always be served open face, and if somebody
But
wants
it
to put them
takes-
together,
You got to pay because it's double the amount of Nova than the normal, so it's not the normal issue.
right?
But now that we saw this, are you on the air yet?
Yeah, we're
Yeah,
on
we're
the
doing
air.
the
We're
show.
on the
Yeah.
air.
Good
So you
morning.
saw this already?
Yeah. And
now I'm gonna with my gloves on. I'm gonna put this
oh,
together.
look at this. And then what happens? Oh, wow.
Now it looks like an everything
Now-
flagel.
Now, do I cut it in half before eating
I
it?
want to show it first with that. Look how many seeds are on that.
Do you see this, folks?
I'll move this.
This
over.
is somebody the other week on Let's Eat was saying, show me an everything bagel that has enough of anything.
see,
and I
but
was
that-
like, are you kidding me?
But that's
Oh,
but that
the
Go ahead,
everything
Rich, I got my
bagels
fingers
here
off.
have more than enough of everything.
But
Look
that-
at that.
See,
thing.
that's the thing that one of the when we first started doing shows here, because I hadn't been here in years, and it was a little different before the Marks took
Look at this.
over.
We've got a Kathy
one
Willits like
thing-
porno
the,
food shoot here going on.
the one thing that's
This
always
is gonna be. Anyone does you eat this? You don't eat this.
I
I'm
haven't,
gonna
no, I'm not a big
Oh, I'm
onion fan,
going
but
to eat that. I'm
the
gonna
one thing
big bite
that's
that
interesting
shit.
is
I
like
need a real knife, though. Rich. Tell them I need a real
the
knife.
steak knife. When it comes to like everything
See
bagels,
if they got a
that's
serrated knife.
a big like a lot of the time. By the time you get home, everything's falling off of the dang thing,
Uh-huh.
and it's like a plain bagel. Like you
These
guys,
don't fall
have
off.
so
Look,
many
'cause
stuff
we
on it.
hand dip them.
yeah, it's
So
great.
Look, they don't fall off.
No,
No,
both
they're like
sides.
they're
And
on
it's
there
both sides.
solid. I want to pick this whole thing up and big bite it, but
Go
then
for
it
it.
You
ruins
can
the
do
other
that.
half for you.
It's
right?
fine. I'm not, I'm not as
No, we'll cut away
picky
from
about
your
hands
fingerprints,
and all
don't worry.
that stuff. It's an interesting thing.
This is great.
This is Mayo at his finest.
Oh
What do
my
you think,
God.
Defoe?
Oh,
Look at
Jesus.
this.
Look at this.
I think he's losing his touch a little bit.
I could barely put a dent in that.
I'm
my
really
God.
kicked.
Getting dental work
That was
done.
a week. That was a. I mean, but what a bite! What a thing! That's a great thing. I'm gonna get that next time.
I had to order that for you.
Oh, so you can
It's the
order
new
this
year.
exact thing. You can order this way.
If you want to order it, you can order it.
Okay.
I mean, it's twice, there's twice the Nova on here, so I don't know how that
I mean,
works.
two people can share that.
But you
No,
can
but
get
you
it
could
just like this with one side and then
one
put it
side
together.
of Nova, put it together.
And
You got a
that's
sandwich.
fine.
That's how my wife likes. She likes
That
it
is
as
extra
a
Nova.
I
Oh,
like it like mayo open.
and again, the Bermuda onions, the capers, I love that.
Yeah, it's a
This-
nice. That's a lot of Nova.
We're cutting away from Mayo's fingerprints.
this reconnects me with my roots in Brooklyn. I mean, I love all these things. Although flagels, aren't they a relatively recent thing? Was that a thing when
yeah, a
we
bunch
were
of years.
Mhm. At least 20? But when I was growing up as a kid, and I would go to Bell Bagel, Bialy, and Canarsie. Is that where you started, by the way? Was
That's
it?
where I worked.
Yeah.
And
Um,
Warren is still in Oceanside, and he's everywhere. He's like global.
Yeah, that's under the Ray's Bialy brand now, but it's
Yes.
made by Bell
Yes.
Bialy that used
Got
to be
it.
in Brooklyn on Foster Avenue, and now it's
I
in
will
Oceanside,
attack this
Long Island.
piece, but
Oh,
Mayo,
look at that.
Mike, that's yours. that whole
Okay,
piece.
that whole piece. All right, good. After I try to be good with my powerhouse wrap, every time I think I'm out, they pull me back in.
Pretty
It's
much.
so good. All right, we're enjoying ourselves. We're gonna let
Let the gentleman
Free go.
Hey,
It's time for
about
your
to be
haircut.
11:30.
I'm leaving right after I finish this corner.
Do they use scissors?
You want to cut
little,
this in half so you
do
can
they
eat
use
it like normal
a
people?
lawnmower? How do they cut that hair?
I make
Yes.
them use a scissor and I do a little buzz on
A
the
buzz
side.
cut
Yeah,
on
yeah,
the
yeah.
side.
Buzz on the side and then
Very
scissor
nice.
it on the top.
Well, I'm
I
saying
actually have Anthony right next door in the shopping center. I'm putting a little dig in for him.
okay. Little
He's
plug.
the best. When
Okay,
I
good.
tell you, he's so good at what he does. You call him up, at least for me and my partner and I, He comes anytime, any day,
What's a men's
and
cut?
we tip him well. So
Is it 25, $30 for a cut? Or?
it's 20, but we give him 20 as a tip, so you get
No,
Nice.
he
40.
Good
gets
for you.
40.
You're
And
better than
that's
me.
what
That's why he wakes up for us.
Yeah,
I
my
go to
cut's 10 and I give him 30, so I guess I'm not doing so bad. Good for
I
me.
go to one of those fancy places on Los Olos, longtime friend. He charges me 40 and I give him no tip
Well, 40. That's
because he
crazy.
owns the salon.
Yeah. Well, when you
Like,
charge
is
me
that one of the rules of thumb? If somebody is the actual
I mean, you still
salon
should tip,
owner, if they're
but-
not renting a chair,
it's their money.
Yeah, but
yeah, I'm cheap.
I mean, 40's
you have to give something.
for a guy's haircut. 40's all right.
Fried, thank you so much.
And that,
Always
you
a
get that
pleasure.
for 40.
He hasn't had a haircut in a while.
I
Now,
haven't
next
had
time
it
you
in a
go
while.
back, tell him you got some change coming.
Yeah. All right.
I'm
let's-
out of here in 2 minutes.
Let's take
two more
break
bites. I'm
number
down.
two more bites. But well, in that case, I'll do a plug for Delaware Chicken Farm and Seafood Restaurant since it's close by and they're one of our friends and another place that's been around a long time. Grandpa's has been around since the late 50s,
57.
right? 57.
Wow.
And Delaware Chicken Farm and Seafood Market has been around since the early 50s in their current location at 4191 North State Road 7 since the early 60s. And now, Doug Carter is retired, but it's in the hands of his faithful longtime manager, Jose, and Gene, of course. We love going in there, and we'll be in there next week. And, with football season underway, the playoffs, if you could just pick up anything you need for your football playoff watching parties, you could have some bagels from
And
Grandpa's.
he's got stone crabs too there,
He's
right?
got good stone crabs. Great
he has
stone
the
crabs.
jumbos and the
He's
the whole
got
thing.
Hard
all
being-
sizes, very fresh. He's got all kinds of great shrimp. If you want to have a shrimp cocktail from Key West Pink Shrimp or the Gulf Shrimp, whatever you want, it's there at Grandpa's. Again,
That
Delaware
stone crabs for my car. My kids came in.
nice.
Nice.
It's
We
always
ordered 4 pounds of the colossals.
Ooh.
That's all he had
Delicacy.
left.
nice.
We sold out of everything.
But
I'm
it's
sorry to
good. It's
interrupt
fresh.
you.
No,
It
right?
was unbelievable.
That's it. The testament to the freshness,
Yep.
quality, and
it was
service.
so delicious.
Delaware-
Go ahead, finish.
No,
Go
go ahead.
finish. And then I'm gonna
DelawareChicken.com is the website. Go on there for all the weekly specials. Sign up for their
give him the
newsletter.
phone number.
And yeah, I should know it by heart by now. But DelawareChicken.com, the website, has
Very
all
good.
the info
Very
you
good. Very
need.
good phone number.
954-983-68.
I have the number there.
Just look it up.
Okay, look it up.
983-6831.
I'll tell you what, He was so
954-983-6831.
busy for the holiday. He was
Yeah.
out of sauce. He gave me his recipe for the sauce.
Oh, good. Okay.
Oh, yeah,
So
because
in
their
case we
mustard,
ever
the
need
the
mustard
mustard.
for the
Great.
sauce, it's
Florida
really
mustard
not hard.
sauce.
No,
We
it's
love
Out of this
Delaware.
world.
All right, we'll be back after these
Bye,
words.
everybody.
Thank you, Fried.
Hey, Mark.
Next month, and we'll be back after this.
Hey, Lunchbox fans, is it time to sell your business? You've poured your heart and soul into your restaurant or business, and you want to see continue the legacy you have built. Transworld can help. Call me, Andy Cagnetta, at Transworld Business Advisors right now and see if it's time for you to retire and relax. Iconic brands like the Mai Kai, Mulligans, Carlos and Pepe's, Mangoes, and many more turn to Transworld to help sell. Contact Transworld on Facebook or call 954-772-1122 or visit tworld.com. Again, that's 954-772-1122 or tworld.com.
When I'm looking for some wicked good food for a wicked good lunch, there's only one place to go. That's Wicked Cheesesteaks in Fort Lauderdale. It's at 4824 North Federal Highway, just south of Commercial Boulevard and across from Holy Cross Hospital. My friend Brian there, he will hook you up with some really tasty treats. They've got cheesesteaks just like the best you can find in Philly, along with lobster rolls, because that's where he's from, Maine originally. And they have wings and pizza and everything you want to have a really good time. Wicked Cheesesteaks. They're open every day but Tuesday. Check them out online, wickedcheesesteaks.com. Tell them the Lunchbox sent you. If you're looking for a great place for steaks, seafood, and more, go to Tropical Acres Steakhouse and Butcher Shop. It's at 2500 Griffin Road in Dania, just west of I-95 and the airport. They've been there a long time, since 1949. That means they're doing something right. You'll get old school hospitality from the Studiali family, along with great value, for tremendous service. Of course, you could also go into the bar for happy hour every day, 4 to 6, and they have great value all night long. Also, a butcher shop that's open every day from 10 a.m. to 6 p.m., except Sunday. The dining room is open every day at 4:30, except Sunday. Go to Looking for great seafood that's a little further inland? Luke's Seafood and Grill. That's Luke's with a C, 5511 South University Drive in Davie. Luke and Roxy, they're a great couple with great food. It's a mom and pop shop bringing the freshest fish and seafood to Western Broward. Some of the best jambalaya and fish cakes around. And Scooby Dooby Doo, where are you? You can find his famous Scoobies, those sauteed crab claws, right there on the specials board most days. Oh, so good. So take a trip to University just north of Sterling today. Lunch, dinner closed on Mondays. Tell them Mike Mayo's Lunchbox sent you. When people come to me and say, Mike, where should I go out to eat? I got guests coming from out of town. Where should we go? Cafe Seville. That's the answer. 2768 East Oakland Park Boulevard. It's a Fort Lauderdale perennial, serving the finest in Spanish and continental cuisine in a cozy, friendly, comfortable setting. Joey Esposito and Sally, his better half, they've been running the place for a long time. It's been open since the 1980s. They got great Spanish classics like paella, shrimp with garlic sauce, and all kinds of great seafood dishes. The stuffed veal chop, oh, that's my favorite. Go to Cafe Seville. It's open every day but Sunday at 5 p.m. for dinner. Tell them that the Lunchbox Mayo and Defo sent you. Feel like getting away without leaving town? Then you got to check out the House on the River in Fort Lauderdale. It's a beautiful restored historic home with indoor and outdoor dining right on the New River. You'll think you're in Charleston or Savannah. It has a gorgeous patio, porches, and private dining areas, and it offers unique experiences perfect for a date night or fun times with friends and family. It has weekend brunches, happy hour, dinner Wednesday through Sunday. There's also a high tea on Friday and Saturdays, and the popular House of Veuve Champagne experience on weekends. The House on the River is in Fort Lauderdale's Himmershey district, just south of Science Museum. For reservations and All right, we're back on the Lunchbox. Fried is gone. And just to wrap up the Kathy Willits thing, I mean, I looked at her member profile on Let's Eat, and basically the age and date of birth and where she was born and lived, all the Facebook facts that were on there comports with
So you think it's
that
her?
Kathy Willits, and also her profile picture. Everybody would remember that face who was around at that time. And
I guess it's 30 years. I mean, you go back to life.
I didn't realize this part of the story, though, Defo, that the original way that she found all her Johns and people started coming to her and paying her was through a personal ad in the Sun Sentinel. And I didn't even realize that the Sun Sentinel had personal ads at the time. This is the early.
It was very popular at one point in time before all of these dating sites popped up.
Yeah, before there was Tinder and all that stuff, and
eHarmony and all that stuff. You used to have a small section on the classifieds,
but people still paid for
where people, made arrangements to meet each other.
Yeah, and I remember that the New Times had a very robust personal ads section, and this was before the days of Craigslist because that kind of consumed all the classified and personal ads. But I didn't remember that the Sun Sentinel actually would dare to get down in the gutter like that. But then again, I remember that when I started off at the sports section of the Sun Sentinel, half the sports pages were filled with ads for strip clubs.
Yeah,
and,
oh my God, that was everything.
They stopped that for a while. They got real sanctimonious. They wouldn't even run Hooters ads, if I remember correctly. And
right,
yet at the same time, they were helping Kathy Willits' prostitution business by putting her into personals.
It's kind of like the dentist that feeds the kids all the candy on Halloween.
Yep.
It's like the Sun Sentinel. Yeah, let's have some personal ads, and then we'll be the beneficiaries of a sensational scandal.
Stringy blonde hair, as I remember.
Yes.
Stringy blonde hair.
You know, after the whole thing and after she and her husband got out of jail, they started making porn movies.
Oh, really?
Which is just another.
Stick with what you know.
Well, it's illegal.
That makes sense.
I mean, it's your stuff.
You get out. I mean, what are you going to do?
Yeah.
Honestly.
Oh, man. So, let's see. What else do we got on the agenda? So we're going to be going to Taverna Kima later, and I feel badly because Sophia, they do a great job there, and they were absolutely slammed during the holidays, as many restaurants were, and it was so weird. Like, you feel like, shouldn't today be a holiday because it's a Wednesday? It seemed like every week. I love that schedule where you just take off Tuesday and Wednesday every week. It'd be great if we just had like 2-day work weeks.
And then you come back, and then you're at weekend again.
Yeah, and but basically, because they got so slammed during the holidays and with New Year's and Christmas on Tuesdays and Wednesdays.
Oh, look at that. I forgot about the goddamn omelet.
Got slaughtered today by him. But they were hoping to do those lamb roasts on the first Sunday of every month. But Sophia postponed the January lamb roast. We had the first one. We did a show out there at the beginning of December. but there was no January lamb roast this past Sunday. They will resume it the first Sunday in February. I believe it's February 2nd. But what I didn't realize is somebody from the group and a Lunchbox viewer actually went out there Sunday looking forward to the
they
lamb.
didn't have it. Oh, okay.
And he was asking about it, and apparently nobody even realized that, it was scrubbed. So apologies to him, but it will be resuming next month, the first Sunday of the month, where you have that whole lamb on a spit. And that was
that was great.
That was impressive.
Yeah, it was
and Defa, I'm glad you're going to be coming out, because Sophia, besides we're going to be promoting and seeing some of the great things they have for their weekday happy hour. She's going to bring you out a fine piece of filet mignon, or perhaps
She brought out like 3 steaks last time.
Thus disproving my
Mayo wrong
bogus
right.
theory that you can't get a good steak at a Greek restaurant. And I apologize. You are right. I'm going to lay down and just say I was wrong. Anything on a
whoa. Back down.
He's
Where
been
are we
wrong,
on the
but
tape here?
It's rare that he says, I was wrong.
I've come around.
I mean, look, you're not entirely wrong. They're definitely, we found out later on that this is just part of your nature when you revealed that you order for everybody with big parties. So your tendency would be to believe that you should only order certain things, and probably more of the things you're inclined to think are going to be done well at a certain restaurant.
Play to a restaurant's strength.
Right. But our theory was just that if you do have it on the menu, and
make it good.
Make it representative at least. I mean, it may not be your best dish, but it shouldn't be a disaster or something that the people walk away and go, man, that wasn't worth anywhere near the price. So, do it well if you got to have it on the menu. And I think that's more than considerable to have that expectation.
And in that vein, they have burgers here at Grampa's, and they've recently, I guess, did a little bit of an enhancement where they're getting their meat now from Halpern's. Halpern's a very well-regarded purveyor of steaks and meat. So here we've got the classic cheeseburger with American cheese. And since, I've eaten everything else in front of me today.
Did you try? You didn't try the corned beef hash, eggs Benedict? Because now my curiosity is, and I'm not sure that this was spelled out clearly, there is no bread under it. It's just the eggs Benedict on the corned beef hash.
No. There is an English muffin, but it's extremely thin. It's like almost like the flagel version of an English muffin.
Right.
It's
really nice. I always love that when you get 2 eggs up and corned beef hash, and you kind of scrim a little of it together. It really is fantastic.
I think Carlos Frias would approve, because he loves putting his sandwiches on his plancha, his sandwich press.
Yeah.
I think they put these English muffins on a plancha, on a sandwich press, because they are very thin. It almost looks like a pancake, but
I'm telling you, it looks like a pancake.
It's not a pancake, right?
No, but it was good though. That's the problem a lot of time with an eggs Benedict. Again, the English muffin absorbs all the hollandaise and all the flavor. And this was interesting is, again, I was talking about this before we came back, but my wife's a fan of doing the salmon Benedict and the lobster Benedict, and I'm not. I just want either the Canadian bacon, or I really like when they have the thick ham steak. That's what I like on a Benedict. I will say the corned beef for me, as someone who normally doesn't go off script for an egg Benedict, was really good. Like the corned beef with the hollandaise and then the egg and then the thin English muffin is a nice combination.
Yep.
It's really good.
You get anything you want here. It's like Alice's restaurant, except it's Grampa's, and it's right here just off Federal Highway, just south of Dania Beach Boulevard in Dania. You get good burgers. You get good omelets. You get good soups. It's soup weather. Now the new corned beef hash, actually not hash, it's corned beef eggs Benedict.
Yep.
And a good burger. I mean, it's all here.
Great food.
Omelets, classic breakfast and lunch. I can't believe I've gone from eating everything flagel with.
You started with the egg white wrap.
Yes, he tried.
With a half a tomato slice.
Because I'm trying. Yeah,
you tried.
Now you're eating the live wild boar.
Yeah, yeah, like Dan Campbell.
Fried is. I think he's out to get me.
He is.
But
we do have one more break
in a loving way. All right, let's take our final break, and then we'll conclude with. I haven't spoken to Defo since the Dolphins concluded their losing season. The bunch of losers that they are, but everybody comes back because it's just
you were reveling in their misery.
Yeah, well, he was the one that was right. We were, for once, Defo and I were positive about the Dolphins, and Mayo's negativity rubbed off on them. I guess because you were right.
Bring back Marino.
We're gonna
bring Danny.
Yep. Bring Danny back. Bring Shula back
Yeah,
from the
please.
grave. I think at this point,
It's gonna be worse.
Shula probably
Couldn't do
could
much of a
coach.
worse job even dead than this man.
All right. Let's take that final break, and we'll be back to wrap up this edition from Grandpa's after these words. When people ask me about the best restaurants in South Florida, Casa d'Angelo is always at the top of my list. First-class dining, top-flight service, elegant atmosphere, and chef-founder Angelo Ilia is legendary. The flagship in Fort Lauderdale has been serving the finest Italian cuisine since 1997, with other locations in Boca Raton and Aventura. As Angelo himself says, they have an unwavering commitment to unparalleled quality with meticulous attention to details. It's so good, with house-made pastas, pristine seafood, unique meats like elk chops and bison, and seasonal specialties including fragrant fresh truffles from Italy. All locations open 7 days for dinner. Reservations recommended. For a special occasion or any occasion, Casa d'Angelo. Tell them Mike Mayo sent you. Delicious Mexican food with innovative twists. Margaritas with a medley of tongue-tingling flavors. I'm talking about Taco Craft, Taqueria, and Tequila Bar. The place to go on Taco Tuesday and every day. It's located at 510 North Federal and Highway in Fort Lauderdale, and also in Lauderdale by the Sea at Plantation Walk, and soon in Coral Springs. Taco Craft has specials every day, including bottomless drinks for a Sunday brunch, and Taco Tuesdays with their $4 premium tacos, including their new birria tacos with bone marrow broth. Oh, it's so good. They've even made a taco lover out of me, and they've got so much more, including fajitas, that open-faced smashed cheeseburger tortilla that's new, and a guacamole sample that's an explosion of flavors. The kitchen is open late. There's delivery and takeout. For more information, go to tacocraft.com. Tell them Mike Mayo, the Lunchbox, sent you. Hey, it's Mayo for Gilbert's 17th Street Grill. You know me, I love family-run places with quality food at fair prices served with passion and pride. And that's why I love Gilbert's. For more than a decade, Lenore, Beth, and Richie Gilbert have been serving up the best burgers, wings, ribs, salads, and desserts. It's a fast casual spot. Everything prepared fresh to order from an immaculate open kitchen. They're at 1821 Cordova Road in Fort Lauderdale in the Cordova Shops just south of 17th Street. Open every day but Sunday. One of my favorite burgers in South Florida. Big, round, juicy pucks of 100% Angus beef, char grilled to perfection. And don't miss the sweet potato fries on the side. They're legendary. Go to Gilbert's, feast, and fresh local fish. A sophisticated setting. I'm talking about Corvina Seafood Grill. It's at 110 Plaza Real South in Boca Raton, just south of Palmetto Park Road. It's the place to go for the freshest and local seafood and fish, some of it with a Peruvian twist like their great ceviches. It's open 7 days for dinner. They also have happy hours 7 days a week. You don't want to miss it. It's a great place. CorvinaBocaRaton.com for more information and reservations. All right, we're back on the Lunchbox, and we got to get out of here because it's a doubleheader day. And we'll dissect the dolphin season later on when we're at Taverna Kima. We'll kind of slice them up and carve them up just like a lamb on a spit, let's say, at Taverna Kima. And of course, our hearts and thoughts are with the people of Los Angeles.
God,
that's crazy what's going on. I was following the news all overnight, watching the feeds from KTLA and Defo. I know you worked out there.
Yeah.
I spent a lot of time out at Riviera Country Club, which is in the evacuation zone now, and it's just crazy. But we just hope that the winds die down and the fires can be contained. It's just goes to show you that no matter where you live, there's always some sort of.
That's the second time in like 3 weeks that area has been.
It's crazy. All right, Defo, we'll see you at Taverna Kima.
All right, I'll be out there long before you. I'm meeting a friend of mine, the great Dr. B, about some business. So I'm looking forward to the happy hour there.
Driving. Forget dry January. I don't know why people even bother with that nonsense. But
what's that?
Dry January. I'm going for happy hour. I'm going to be good.
Oh, forget it. Yeah.
That's it. All right, we'll
Moderation.
see you at Taverna Kima, Boca Raton later today. And thanks again to Mark Fried, everybody here at Grandpa's. Until then, enjoy every Eggs Benedict, every matzo ball soup, and enjoy every flagel sandwich.